On behalf of my family, the City of Akron family, we want to express our prayers and condolences to the victims of today's fire. I want to thank our first responders for their dedication and all the effort they put out here today. I'll turn it over to Chief Tucker and Rick Edwards to make a statement.
Good afternoon. I can confirm for you that...
Chief, we cannot see you. You're blocking my way, my friend.
This way, I guess.
Thank you. I can confirm for you that this call came in at 2:46 a.m. We dispatched companies at 2:47 a.m. this morning. We were on scene 5 minutes later at 2:52 a.m. This fire was very advanced once we got here. It was fully involved. We can confirm that we have 7 fatalities at this point. We do not have ages, names, anything of that sort. We had the fire under control after an extended battle, and at this time the fire is under investigation.
Does it appear to be arson because of the intensity of the flames, and there were some neighbors talking about maybe something started on the porch?
A fire that is this severe, you never can rule out the possibility of arson, but we have fire investigators here now trying to determine the cause of this fire.
All members of the same family, Chief?
We do not know that for certain.
5 kids, 2 adults?
We do not know that for certain. We've heard that a family lives there that has 5 children and 2 adults, but we cannot confirm that's who perished in this fire.
Chief, was there any difficulty fighting a fire? Did you know that many people inside the house?
A fire the heat is very intense, and it affects the structure of the home pretty quickly. So in this fire, we had to be very careful not to get firefighters injured or killed. It was a difficult battle, but we were able to get it under control after a certain amount of time, after about 30 to 40 minutes.
Can you talk about the emotional impact of this for your firefighters? Many of them, of course, parents themselves, and having to go in and to remove the bodies of the children, how difficult this must be.
I think as a community, anytime you have a fire where people perish, I think it affects the entire community as well as the firefighters. So absolutely, our firefighters have difficulty dealing with this type of an issue.
Chief, with 7 fatalities, how does this compare in Akron's history? Is this the deadliest fire here?
This is not the deadliest fire. We have had 7 fatalities in the past.
You had more than 7?
We have had 7, so this ties.
What goes next, Chief? How does the investigation proceed from here, as far as the Marshal's office and your office?
Actually, we have the State Fire Marshal's office, as well as APD investigators, as well as our fire investigators, all working in tandem to try to determine a cause as quickly as possible. And as we get more information, we'll keep you updated.
Was there anything that could be done to get anyone out? I mean, from the beginning, was there just no hope at all because of how fast it was going and the stairway collapsing?
The state of the fire when we advanced, it was fully involved, meaning there was fire coming out of every window, out of the roof and every other area that you can imagine. So it's always a very difficult thing to try to get people out if you can determine where the people are, because there's no guarantee that you know exactly where the people are.
Chief, was there any smoke alarm in the house?
We cannot determine that at this point. The fire was so intense that any remains of smoke detectors have been unable to be detected at this point, but we will continue that, and we'll have further information on that as we proceed.
Do you know where the fire happened, where 7 people were dead in the history?
I do not know exactly where the 7 people were pulled from.
Orrin?
Excuse me?
Orrin?
You're talking about back in the 90s?
Yes.
I do not have information on that at this
Any
point.
concern that this may be connected to
All right, thank you.
Is
At
this
this point,
connected to the arson that's unsolved? Could it be connected to that case?
we really don't know any information further than what I've told you at this point in time. And right now, I'd like to turn it over to the State Fire Marshal's office.
How alarming would it be if this is an arson case? Because we have an unsolved arsonist on the loose, if that is the case. Are you leaning that direction? Or
We'll let the State Fire Marshal.
Any pets involved?
Actually, there was one pet.
Dog cat.
Can you bring up? Is that okay? Okay. What's your name?
Can you say
Say your name. Spell your name.
Yeah, Robert Sharp.
Can you move over to a little bit? Yeah. You're blocking it.
No E.
No E. Robert Sharp.
Yeah.
You okay, Joe? Can you
What was
go
the
to the right
question?
a little bit? Because you keep blocking his shot.
You're right there. Mr. Sharp, where does the investigation begin? Where do you start?
Well, we started this morning when we were called to assist the Akron Fire Department, and we conducted our investigation like we normally would in conjunction with the Akron Fire Department and their investigators. And at this point, we've collected evidence, and we brought in a K-9 as well from our unit. I had 5 investigators here, and right now we'll be going through all the information that we gathered.
Does the nature of the fire suggest anything to you? Lean it more towards the possibility?
No,
of
it
an
doesn't.
intentional-
No.
What evidence have you collected?
I can't disclose what the evidence is, but we took evidence that we felt needed to be collected. And again, taking evidence doesn't necessarily mean that it is or isn't an arson. It's evidence that we need to help us better determine what the cause was.
Are you looking into anyone in specific?
No, at this point, we're just continue. It's going to be an ongoing investigation.
Where were the victims found in the house?
I'm not sure. You have to check with Akron Fire.
Can you talk about the timeline on this? How long does something like this take, and what is the process of piecing together an investigation of this magnitude?
There's no set timeline. We've already started, as you know. We try to be as thorough and complete as we can in a reasonable amount of time, and it'll take whatever it takes till we can get it done.
Did the canine give any sort of alert to?
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that.
Can you tell if there's any accelerants, or
Can we tell?
can you tell at this point?
No, that's why we have the lab. The lab's here, and we'll be, in the next couple of days, we'll be analyzing the evidence.
So it's not an instantaneous lab
No.
that can detect an accelerant
No,
on the scene.
no.
It's important to remember too, the investigation is 12 hours old.
Right.
It's very.
It's in its
very new.
infancy, actually, so there's a lot to put together here.
Mayor, can you talk a little bit about the impact that this has on the community and the schools, maybe because we're talking about several children, although we don't know if they're APS students or not. But can you elaborate a little bit about
And we don't. And if you refer to the beginning statement or the opening statement, you don't prepare yourself for things like these. What you do is you offer as much hope and support as you can to the community. That's why we're out here. We'll be talking to residents. There's information out there to go in all different directions. But it's important for the community to know and the family to know that we support them, and we're going to do everything we can to get through this. So, thanks.
Chief, you just had a class graduate, new firefighters. Were any of them here at this fire? The new rookies?
Yes, they are spread across 3 shifts and a lot of different stations. So yes, some of the new rookies are actually here at
Chief,
this
just
fire.
a second, Chief. It's PM. Can you go a little bit to your right?
Are you going to be providing any counseling for the firefighters who arrived on scene today?
That is normal procedure for us to do, and so yes, we will be providing services or supportive services for the firefighters that were here at this scene.
Chief, can you tell us where the victims were found inside the house?
We are actually, you know what, I really don't have that detail for you, but we'll give you more information as we get it all together for you.
Have all the bodies been removed at this point?
At this point, I believe we are in the process of removing bodies.
So all of them were not upstairs, or you don't know?
I do not know that at this time.
Did you say the stairwell collapsed or burned or something?
I did not say that.
Last question,
Property?
last question, Steph, go ahead.
Say again?
Owner-occupied property and not a rental property?
I really don't know that information at this point.
Thank you, folks, appreciate it.
Thanks for coming out.
Any scheduled updates for the rest of the day? Nothing. Here.